This is Bruce Friedman of Adult Side Broker, and welcome to Adult Side Broker Talk, where each week we interview one of the movers and shakers of the adult industry, and we give you a tip on buying and selling websites. This week we'll be speaking with performer MsSexySaigon. I'll be in Cali, Colombia for the LAL Expo, April 27th through the 29th. I hope to see many of you there. If you'd like to sit down and discuss business, contact me at adultsidebroker.com. We're proud to announce our latest project, thewaronporn.com. You'll find articles on age verification laws and other attacks on our industry. It's to raise awareness of our industry's plight in the war on porn. You'll find all that and more at thewaronporn.com. Now time for our properties for sale at Adult Side Broker. We have a premium AI companion platform focused on emotional realism and deep memory. Users interact with lifelike companions that remember every detail and respond with real emotion. They've just added advanced video capabilities. We have a network of BDSM subreddits that has over 1.49 million users, over 3.8 million posts, and almost 45,000 comments. The three subreddits feature rough anal, rough sex, and BDSM. We have a buyer who's looking for dating and lifestyle sites in Europe. They'd also consider other geos. They currently operate some very successful sites. We're offering a growing free porn gaming site with adult sex games. The site is owned by one of the top entrepreneurs in our industry. And there's a highly active, organically grown Reddit community centered around the stalking and foot fetish niches. It's one of the leading spaces for adult fetish content on Reddit. For more information, go to our listings page at adultsidebroker.com. Now time for this week's interview. My guest today on Adult Side Broker Talk is MsSexySaigon. Thanks for being with us on Adult Side Broker Talk.
Well, thank you very much, Bruce. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for the invitation.
It's really nice to have you. Now, do I refer to you as Miss Sexy, Miss Saigon, or how should we go about that?
My stage name is MsSexySaigon, but I'm also known as a Miss Saigon. So you can call me Sexy, Miss Saigon, MsSexySaigon, depending on the situation, I guess.
There you go. Sexy sounds good. Well, let's tell everyone about you. You're an independent filmmaker, content creator, and adult performer who directs, edits, and stars in her own projects while also performing in studio productions. Born in Vietnam, right in the neighborhood here, and fluent in both English and Vietnamese, she grew up in a conservative culture and entered the adult industry later in life. She embraced it as a path to personal and professional empowerment. Branding herself as an Asian Hot MILF, she thrives in roles that highlight her comedic improv personality and her versatility across different niches. MsSexySaigon brings range, humor, and uninhibited energy to every performance. She first began creating adult content in 2020 and gained early recognition. Her professional journey took off with her first Exotica in 2021, and she's since been back many times. To learn more about MsSexySaigon, visit Linktree, Ms. Saigon, there we go, and MsSexySaigon.com. So, your stage name is MsSexySaigon. Talk about your upbringing in Vietnam and then moving later to the U.S.
Okay, well, I was born in Saigon, Vietnam. Saigon, that's the old name of the capital of the South. Now it's known as Ho Chi Minh City. And I immigrated to the U.S. after the Vietnam War as a little kid. And so coming to the United States is a brand new life, brand new world, and you had to assimilate. And I did. It was much easier because coming here as a child, picking up a language, it was so much easier for us kids than for our parents, for example. And so I was often the translator for my parents. And I currently live in LA, but I was mainly raised and educated in the U.S.
Where?
In LA, SoCal.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, because, I grew up in the Bay Area and we had a very large Vietnamese population in San Jose. I remember I used to go down there for Vietnamese coffee from time to time.
Oh yes, you know the famous cafe soda, right? The iced coffee
yes.
with the
Yes.
what is that? I can't think of that sugary milk that they add in the condensed milk.
Man.
That's it.
Condensed milk, yeah.
Yes, that gives it that very, sweet and like decadent, rich taste.
A little similar to Thai iced tea because they use that for that as well.
Well, Thai tea, usually they do it with milk and heavy cream. But condensed milk, is used in Vietnamese coffee. That's what differentiates it a little bit. They both are quite sweet, but slightly a little bit different.
Yeah, and Vietnamese coffee is strong.
It is strong. Oh my God, yes.
Just a little bit of caffeine in there.
Yeah.
Just a tad.
Just a tad. And San Jose has a big Vietnamese population, but nothing compared to Orange County.
Oh, is that right?
Absolutely. Orange County has the biggest population of Vietnamese outside of Vietnam.
What town did you grow up in?
Well, in this area, you have Garden Grove, you have Bolsa, Westminster, but we're spreading quite a bit, especially if you drive around Orange County in these areas. You see a lot of you see a lot of Asian faces. So I feel I'm with my people, I'm in my community.
Yeah, that's got to feel comforting considering you grew up in Vietnam.
Exactly, but it wasn't always the case. The population growth has grown over the years, but I remember first moving here back in the 80s. It was the biggest I've ever experienced, but still it is nothing compared to today.
How was it growing up during the war?
Well, as a child, I didn't know any better. My dad was in the military. And moving here, it was a big shock. Learning the language was difficult. I remember going to school and not understanding a word. But over time, within a year, everything suddenly clicked. And then I could understand and I could participate in school functions and doing my homework. And I went from a D student to an A student within a year.
That's nice. Well, I'll tell you something. People who are immigrants, and this is why I get so angry when certain political figures rail against immigrants. Immigrants work harder, 10 times harder, 100 times harder than people who were born in the States.
I think we work hard because we recognize where we came from and the lack of opportunities that we didn't have. And we came here for a better life. And so we feel that if we squander that opportunity, it would be such a shame because so many people are trying to get the kind of opportunity that we have. And I think our parents push us towards that. Is like, be grateful for what you have and work hard if you want to, move ahead. But also I feel privileged as an Asian immigrant because I felt that there were many doors that opened for us that may not have opened for, let's say, the Black community or Latinos that were here for whatever reason were the preferred minority, but the model minority.
Oh, sure you are. Why not?
It's a myth.
Okay,
it's a path
if you say so.
That I'll take, and I see my family benefiting and prosper just in only one generation of being here.
Yeah, no, absolutely. 100%. How did you get started in adult? Was there a moment that changed your perspective on life, or did something lead you to your start in our industry?
Well, that's a long story.
Okay, tell me.
Yes. So I went through a divorce after 20 plus years of marriage. And then at around that time, COVID-19 pandemic happened. And during that time, there was a lot of uncertainty. We didn't know that, because this, it's a pandemic, this could hit us. You could die any day. You could be next because it was, indiscriminate on who the victims would be. So after that, I had time to think about my life and how I want to live it. Going through a divorce, I've been, a mother, a career woman, a wife. I had all that, but I was in a marriage that wasn't fulfilling. And I had the opportunity to say, all right, I stay and be roommates with, this person. Or do I, be bold and say, okay, I think I want to move on. I want to find happiness. And that was a hard step.
Oh, I bet after 20 years.
Yeah, my friends and family is like, are you sure? Are you sure? Who's going to take care of you when you're old? And I'm like, well, I don't want to stay in marriage just so I can have someone to take care of me. But taking that step to say, I want something different. I want to experience life, maybe to be more bold, more unafraid, and live my life unapologetically me. And one of that part was to explore my sexuality without shame or regret. I was raised Catholic, and so there's a lot of shame
Sure.
and a lot of guilt.
Yes, guilt. Guilt's the capital word. Guilt.
Exactly, shame and guilt, and especially being in this kind of a patriarchal society when women aren't allowed really to embrace their sexuality or to explore it because there will be names that are thrown at you, whore, slut, and all that. And so as a woman, yeah, it is unfortunate. But when you are young, a woman, I think all the labels affect you a lot. Right? So you want to stay away from it. You want to be a good girl. You don't want to, you want to be marriage, material rather than, just a plaything. And so I think we behave in a way to kind of put us in that position. And so when you are socialized to think that way, you tend to be more conservative. You don't want to explore. And so for a long time, I had a very vanilla sex life, and that's all I knew. But as I got older and after my divorce, I wanted to explore my sexuality. I wanted to say yes to new experiences and not be afraid. And as you get older, you're like, you only live once. If you don't do it now, when are you ever going to do it? And so that's how it kind of started for me. Having my second chance at life and being a divorced and single older woman, I wanted to say yes to all kinds of new experiences, including exploring my own sexuality.
Okay. And so when did you start in adult?
I started out, funny enough, during the pandemic.
Yeah, it's an interesting time.
Oh, yes. I learned a lot during that time. I started hearing about OnlyFans. I've never ever heard of that, such a thing. And I rarely even watch porn prior to entering the industry.
Me either.
Yes. But learning about OnlyFans, and I was already a bit of an exhibitionist. I had a great petite little body and I loved showing it off. And there was no outlet for me to do that. And when I found out that I can show off my body and people will pay a subscription to see that, why not? So that's how it started.
And it went well, obviously.
Well, and then, the fans keep asking me, for specific customs or, sex videos. And so I thought, well, why not take it to another step? Why not pursue this as an older Asian, MILF? I wonder, is there a market for me? And guess what? There is. I have fans. They find me.
Oh boy, is it. And, I was gonna get to this later, but, MILF is like the number one niche.
Exactly.
That must make things even better for you. Why do you think that is, by the way?
Well, why is MILF the number one search word in porn?
Yeah.
Well, I think with a mature woman, men from all ages find that is sexy because she has a strong sense of self. She is confident. She knows what she wants. and she is comfortable in her own skin. And I think that is sexy when confidence is sexy to me.
Big time.
Yeah. And a mature woman has lived, learned, and often bring emotional intelligence, deeper conversation, and self-awareness to relationship. And I think that's definitely true. Living, I couldn't have done this, I think, in my 20s. I know girls do it now in their 20s, but for me, I needed that time to have that kind of life experience, going through motherhood, marriage, a career, to realize what I'm good at and what I'm comfortable with. And it took me, a few decades of self-growth and development to get to this point in my life that I am comfortable in my own skin. I was not always this comfortable in my 20s.
Of course not. Of course, especially being from a conservative culture, because the Thai culture is conservative as well. And I have a Thai wife, so I know that. Now, most people don't think Thai conservative, really? Yes, it is conservative. She grew up in the Northeast, and it's very conservative.
It is. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, in Vietnam's very similar that way.
Absolutely. I agree with you. Asian cultures, we don't want to be loud. Women should be feminine, demure, and obedient.
3 steps behind.
And me being raised in the U.S., in this Western culture, I adopted, a sense of confidence that it took years to develop as well, but also because I live in this society that gives women a lot of opportunities, including education. I am an educated woman that I can think about the situation around me and what I can do to grow. And I'm always interested in growing and learning, because if you stop, that's when you age. And if you continue learning, even the technical things, how to work the computer and, all these different apps that I had to learn entering this business kept my mind sharp. And I am learning continuously every day.
Even today with your sound setup.
Exactly. And I figured it out. I feel so proud.
Of course you did. Of course you did. Because you're smart. There you go. What's been your favorite scene and what performer was your favorite to work with? Tell me about it.
All right. My favorite scene, I would have to say, I've worked with so many performers from all age range and ethnicity. And, but being in the U.S., my exposure is mostly to American porn stars and content creators. So about 2 years ago in 2023, I started doing XBiz Amsterdam, and I started collaborating with European porn stars and content creators and began networking with them to learn more about that European market. And so that was the first time I heard about Prague and Budapest, that those are the top 2 cities in Europe to shoot porn. I did not know that. And so this year I decided to do XBiz Amsterdam beginning of September, and Venus Berlin, which is my first time of attending that porn convention.
Yeah, you mentioned that to me.
Yes.
How was it?
It was awesome. It was outrageous. And I've never experienced.
I still haven't been, and I have the press representative, the guy who does all the publicity. I've had him on my podcast, Walter, the last couple of years. So yeah, I'm anxious to go. I'm really.
Oh, you should go. Oh my, you gotta experience that at least once. And so I heard about it, but experiencing it is one of the biggest show, or maybe the biggest porn convention in Europe, and it is quite impressive. And the kind of performance that people put on, these live sex shows that doesn't exist here in the U.S., was, for the public to see. And guess what? I participated in that. I did a live sex show myself. I thought, why not? When in Rome, do what the Romans do.
That's exactly. Oh, you didn't tell me. You didn't tell me exactly what scene and what your favorite performer was.
That's right. Okay. So, this year I went to Prague and I shot my first studio shoot with a European film company called VIP 4K. And so I shot earlier this year in Las Vegas with Team Skeet for their MILF and Tiger Mom series. And just to be able to see the difference between the way an American company works compared to a European company, that was eye-opening, but also, an interesting comparison on how that works. The memorable, it has to be Prague. That's my first European porn shoot. And it was a beautiful location. The staff was super professional and friendly. And I worked with Charlie Dean. He is an ex-Biz and AVN award-winning co-star. So they teamed me up with someone who was really good at his craft. He was a great actor, had a lot of great facial expressions, and he was really kind and sweet and funny on set. And that made it really memorable to me, because, that definitely is going to be one of the top one on my list. But hopefully with upcoming future, I will have more exposure, more shoots that will bring more to my collection of stories. That's what I call them.
Absolutely. So tell me one thing about your life as a porn performer that your fans don't know or could never guess about you.
Okay. Well, I am an actual MILF, a mother that I like to friend.
Yeah. We can swear on this podcast.
Oh, we can.
100%. This is adult site broker talk. Come on.
Okay.
So we know what MILF stands for. But anyway, go ahead.
All right. And I'm very motherly to my younger female and male co-performers, and that my natural motherly instinct to care about my co-performers' well-being, safety, and comfort come very naturally to me. I can't help it. I'm just like a mother hen. But also, I like to share information. I don't believe in gatekeeping information in this industry, because when you share the information, you are helping people to make good decisions for their career, for their choices. And I like passing on the knowledge or the advice that I would give young performers to succeed and to avoid the pitfalls and challenges, because in any business, there's a pros and cons, and you need to be aware of both sides of the coin before you make a decision to succeed or continue in this business.
Okay. So what advice would you give to a new or young performer in this industry?
Well, what advice would I give? Definitely be professional, be consistent, but also be kind. No one likes a diva. And when you treat people like shit, you get shit back.
Big time.
And yes, I believe in karma, and I believe in kindness. In whatever profession that you do, that goes so far when you treat people with kindness and with love, rather than, nastiness or meanness.
The old golden rule.
Exactly. Treat people how you want to be treated, right?
Yeah. You were saying.
Yeah. And another thing is that show up on time, because a lot of time people in this business think, it's only porn. But if you want to be considered a professional, be on time. Know your brand and be open to suggestions and advice, and continue learning and developing. But the main thing you got to do is work hard. In life, you may have 10% talent, but the other 90% is hard work. Put in the work, and you get what you put in. Absolutely.
Well, you were talking about sharing. Why don't you share a funny or unexpected story from one of your shoots?
Oh, my God.
Please do.
Okay. Well, something came to mind. Well, when you're in an intimate situation with your clothes off and you're performing this very intimate act, a sex scene. For example, your co-performer is eating you out, and you happen to fart into your co-performer's face.
Oh, shit.
Shit, literally shit.
That's hilarious.
Oh my God, that happens,
Oh my God.
And
God.
I am always I feel embarrassed, but I can't help it but laugh.
It's natural.
It is natural. I'm like a child. When I fart, I still laugh at myself. But, in a porn shoot, most likely they will cut that out because it's not, ladylike. It's not sexy to do something like that. But it's funny. And I love humor in porn. And especially when real things like that happen.
So you left it in?
In my film, for my own production, absolutely. I would leave that in. I would leave the laughter in. I would leave the humor in. And to capture the rawness of that real life porn that I'm creating. I think that's raw and it's funny and it's real. And I think real is sexy.
Absolutely. And the way you answered that, by the way, is incredibly adorable. I just wanted to tell you that.
Oh.
It's just incredibly adorable. I love it.
It's embarrassing, but
come on. No, the way you started it especially was just really adorable. Anyway, what kind of porn do you do? And is there any niche you haven't done, but you'd like to explore?
Okay. I do everything from soft to hardcore. I do girl, boy, gangbang, orgy, anal, double penetration, FemDom, and anything you can think of. I rarely say no to any kind of sex act unless it is abusive or violent.
Have you said no to anything?
Yes. Fisting, for example.
That's an acquired taste.
Exactly. And
I'll tell you a funny story. I was talking to a gentleman who's quite accomplished at fisting, gay performer. And I was sitting there and I was going, I am squirming listening to this. It's just uncomfortable.
I know. And I have a tight little pussy. I mean, I fuck a lot of girls and I've seen pussy in all sizes from small to, a little bigger. So I see a little bigger pussy. It makes me think, yeah, I think I can fist that. But for me, I'm looking at my fist trying to go in my pussy. I'm like, that's a woman's fist and I can even do that. And how would a man's fist go in my pussy? I think you would wreck my pussy, in a way that is irreparable. So I say no to that. No.
Okay. But yes to almost everything else.
Yes to almost everything. Yes. And, I am more on the dominant side. So in a lot of my movies, I am the dommy mommy to the sexy kittens or the young cubs. And, I seduce them. And because I'm a woman, I am non-threatening and I tend to get my way.
There you go. I'm not surprised. So where do you see yourself in 5 years continuing to do this business?
Well, I have a long-term goal and I have a little bit of a bigger picture of where I would like to eventually do in 5 years. I enjoy performing tremendously, but I also love being behind the camera in the directors or producers roles. Porn producers, directors, screenwriters, and decision makers are still very male dominated, right? And there are very, very few women in these key roles. Some of the, more notable female filmmakers, role models for me would be like Erica Lusk, Julia Grande.
I was just thinking those names, yes. Absolutely.
Because they are a filmmaker, but also they have a point of view of a woman perspective, female-centric voices, and about female pleasure. And that's what I like to bring out more. Because watching porn for me, I like the seduction. I like the scenario that makes me horny, and just seeing the act, of fucking. After a while, it gets boring. Just fuck, 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 fuck.
Yes, yes.
And for me, I need
Many
a little
many
more.
porn scenes. Many porn scenes have a little too much. They're just a little too much alike.
Exactly.
I was going to ask you, this guy you mentioned, if he was the pizza boy or the pool guy, but I didn't ask it.
Well, it's kind of like that, He was just an innocent boy passing by while I got stuck outside of my house, and he had to jimmy my lock open so I can go in. And I happened to be stuck outside with just a bath towel on.
Well, of course.
Yeah,
It couldn't be any other way, could it?
But I like some of these humorous scenarios. But I think having a woman's voice or perspective or vision adds a little bit more depth in a way that male filmmakers may not have that insight. And for me, I love to add humor into my porn.
Hey, sex is fun, right?
It should be. It shouldn't be so serious, and so I crack a lot of jokes. I make my co-performers laugh, and that brings like a lightness in the scene, and it's just more like a fun in bed, that kind of a thing. So that's what I like.
Beautiful. What's something you love to do outside of your career that helps you unwind or stay creative?
The one thing I really love is my passion is to travel. So on my downtime, when I have time, I travel as much as I can. My bucket list that I have for myself is to see at least one new country a year. Just add one new country. Let me see. Last year I added Korea. This year I added Japan. And, and I am lucky in the kind of business I'm doing in this industry. I can travel and work at the same time. So, for example, I was just in Europe for 5 weeks, attending the XBiz Amsterdam beginning of September, and then doing the Venus Berlin at the end of September. So in between, I went to England. I was in London for like about a week, and then I went to Prague, and I shot in Prague, but also I vacationed. I did a touristy thing, like go on the hop on, hop off bus or the river cruise, and to learn a little bit about the history and visit museums and castle. I enjoy seeing the world, and I want to do that before I die.
Absolutely. That's right. That's the ultimate revenge. You should check out my friend Massey's program, Feet for Cash. He has an opportunity for foot models, if you fall into that category, to travel to Italy and to Tuscany. Yes, he actually will fly you in. So I will put you guys together.
Absolutely. I would love that. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Always plugging my friends. Have you ever been recognized in public? And if so, how did you handle it?
Actually, yes. And that was really wild. I attend Exotica and AVN events. And sometimes, I'm walking out to, to the parking lot to my car, and I hear fans calling out my name or chasing me down for autographs. I was doing AVN, I think about 2 years ago, and I was at Resort World, just walking. Yeah, and I hear like, Miss Saigon, Miss Saigon.
You gotta love it.
Yeah. And you think that, because your videos are being viewed by, you don't know who, and you don't know about how many, just by the number of views you can see, on screen there. But to see people, come up to you and tell you, oh, you're my favorite Asian MILF, and I've jerked off and come many, many times watching your videos.
That's hilarious.
It is. And I'm like, well, good job. Come again. And another thing that always amazes me is that I have fans contacting me from all over the world for sexting, for phone calls, video chats, and custom orders. The internet has allowed me to reach fans globally and expand my fan base in many different markets. So that's why I like going to Europe and expanding my fan base with my European fans. And my next market would be Asia when I want to do a few porn convention. I think there's one in Taiwan. I'm not sure if there's one in Korea.
There's one in Hong Kong, and then there's one in Macau. That's Asia Adult Expo. That's a gentleman that I did some work with. So those are two that you should definitely look into because they're very big. I can put you together with them too.
Well, you're a good person to know, Bruce. I'm happy to
I've been
be
told.
able.
25 years, I should know somebody or know something, right?
And I consider myself fairly new in this business. I've only been doing this since 2020. And so there's a lot of people to know, a lot of people to network with. But overall, people have been incredibly generous and helpful in this industry. I have to say my experience have been really, really positive and welcoming. And I see a lot of kindness. People who make porn were still people too,
Fantastic people.
We are fantastic people. But, the stigma that we have relating to our work is not always a good, look, right? But it's okay. That's okay. We know how
it's a whole other story.
Exactly.
People are very misinformed, and it's very sad, really. Is watching porn part of your personal sex life? And if so, what types of porn do you like to watch?
Yes, I do watch porn, and I would say I watch a lot more of it now since I'm working in the industry compared to before. For sure. Yeah, from filming to editing and to marketing my own videos, I watch it often. And what I like about some of the porn out there and my porn is the humor, the humorous kind of a porn, the kind of porn that makes me laugh, that makes me feel that it could be real kind of a thing. Even some of the scenarios ridiculous, but it is laughable, but it is also, I like porn that entertains me.
Yeah, yeah. And there's some that's more entertaining than others.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And in the past, the kind of porn I watch involves girls doing anal and gangbang because I think it's quite impressive how a performer can take it in the ass one after another like that.
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of cocks around them in a gangbang, like a girl surrounded and she's looking up and there's like just cocks, surrounding her face.
I'll take your word for it. That wouldn't interest me, but I'm glad you like it.
I do because it's just so outrageous and it's just so impressive. I don't know what other word I can say. I'm just so impressed to see that. And you know what that does to me too? It kind of pushes me a little bit too. Like, can I do a gangbang? And I did my first gangbang on film at Miami with 8 guys. Yes. And that film should be coming out soon. I'm working on editing it.
I'll give the standard disclaimer. We're taping this in October, and this will be in the first part of the year, so it might be out already.
It's possible. I'm going to work on it. And then, yes. And so this way, people listening to your podcast can hear about my gangbang and can check it out.
There you go. I will most certainly do that. List 3 porn studios you would like to shoot with and why.
I mentioned Erica Lust before. So she is definitely a role model as a filmmaker, producer.
Are you listening, Erica?
Yes. Are you listening? I would love to, be just in her proximity, to learn from her, to see how she operates, to see how she works. I don't have to have a big role. Just a small role, just to have that experience experience of working with a female center voice and production. So that definitely is one that I would love to have the opportunity to experience. And Milfy is another company. And I think I would like to work for them. I think the parent company is Vixen. So they do a Milfy kind of genre or category. And I think I am that perfect sharp-tongued Asian MILF, tiger mom.
Well, I happen to know their new CEO, Sam. So who knows?
Who knows? Yes, put in a good word for me. That you have a good,
of course I will.
Petite Asian MILF. that would be perfect. And the other one, this is like Brazzer. They're a big name, and everyone wants to work for them. So maybe one day, who knows? We all can dream big, and so that would be my big dream, to work with a big production company like that.
Very good. Yeah, we've had Solomon Friedman, who's like the lead guy for ALO, Ethical Capital Partners, which owns ALO, which owns Pornhub and Brazzers and the like. We've had him on the podcast, and no, we're not related, but there you go. We had a lot of fun with our first name because it's spelled the same. 2 Jewish boys and adult. Go figure that, huh?
Yes.
Can you name a porn actor you're a fan of? And if so, tell us why.
Okay. So being Asian and being raised in a conservative kind of community, Cindy Starfall, she was the first Vietnamese porn star that I ever heard of. And I was really impressed with the way that she just went out there, did her thing, and to break out of all those traditions when she was in her early 20s. And like I said, I don't think I would have had the guts to do what she did. So she opened the pathway. She opened, the door to Asian women like me, thinking that, yes, I think we can make it. But even as an older woman, there was a little bit of doubt, like, is there a market for me? Because traditionally, when you think of porn, you think of young, pretty things, pretty girls. And, but I think with the invention of the internet and the cell phone and OnlyFans, I think MILFs, older women, there is a niche for us. There is, like I said, MILF is the number one search porn word there. And, but you wouldn't realize that if it was presented in the traditional porn kind of a framework, right? But, now that the market seems to be a little bit more level in the sense that, females like me, older women like me can create our own path. We don't necessarily need that system to open doors for us or to allow us in or have us take space. We create the space for us. We find the fans that are out there looking for us. So definitely Cindy made me think about, can I do this? Can I enter this? And 2 of my favorite Asian porn star would be Asa Akira and Marika Hase. I mean, they blaze a trail in gangbang, in anal fucking. That, Asian women, tiny Asian petite women can take it. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to strive to be that.
I love it. Hey, you could go all the way to grandma porn now, and that's even popular. So there you go.
Oh, I know. There's a thing called GILF, grandma, I like to fuck. So, yeah, I'm not quite there yet, but hey, I have a long, long career life ahead of me still, if that is the case, right?
As long as you want to do it. What qualities are important to you in your selection of a co-performer?
Okay, what qualities? Well, definitely when I am looking at co-performers or kind of interviewing them to see if it's a good fit, how
literally
responsive. Yes, I think it's important because it's not like I'm doing a studio shoot when I'm paired together with people I don't know. But when I choose my own shoot and working with other content creator, there is definitely a conversation, right? Regarding expectations and respect for boundaries and, what you do and what you don't do while shooting. What are you comfortable with? And I believe clear communication is important and it's crucial so that we come into it knowing the direction of the scene and what do I need from the scene and what do you need from the scene in order to make this collaboration good for the both of us. But one thing that I would say is that, again, kindness towards one another, respect, kindness, and definitely I appreciate good energy and positive vibe. People who are upbeat, people who have kind of energy that matches mine, help to kind of make the scene a little bit more fun. And so you do your best to see if it's a good match. And a lot of time it's not, because sometimes when I do scenes like Dommy Mommy scenes, some guys are dominant and they don't want to be my little cub. And so, they say that doesn't work for them. And that doesn't work for me either. I need a little bit more of men who are a little bit submissive to me, or young girls, same thing, because, that is my brand, being the Dommy Mommy, the sharp tongue, MILF. And if they're cool with that, if they, if we agree to that kind of shooting style that fits what we need, then that works. So I think clear communication is definitely something that we discuss and have our expectations and boundaries talked about before we shoot.
Yeah, and as you were saying, it's a different adult industry now. The performers are in charge, and things have changed a lot. So you can be more choosy.
Exactly. And also I think in this day and age, we feel more comfortable speaking, for what makes us comfortable or feel safe. I think in the past, maybe women didn't feel empowered to speak up because you may lose a job. You may not be able to find work again. And here, if you don't find work, you create your own work and you can collab with other people in order to kind of create your own content. Because I know lots of content creators don't shoot for big porn studio. They do collabs and they're killing it. They're doing extremely well.
Look, there's platforms like Blossom where you can find your collabs and it works out very well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I think ultimately what qualities in selecting my co-performer, I like guys who really want to fuck me.
There you go.
Yeah.
I can't imagine too many who wouldn't. So that's a
well, but if their kink is they're into MILF, and I can seduce them, and the sexual tension feels real and raw, it makes the scene hotter, and it makes me hornier and wetter, and I enjoy doing that, and yeah. So yeah.
Well, I definitely need to check out some of your content. MsSexySaigon, I'd like to thank you for being with us today on Adult Side Broker Talk, and I hope we'll get a chance to do this again soon.
Thank you so much, Bruce. I had a lot of fun, and maybe we'll do part 2.
I'm all into that.
My broker tip today is part 9 of what to do to make your site more valuable for when you decide to sell it later. Last week, we talked about what information to provide a potential buyer. Here's more. Tell them what's special or different about your site. How's it unique? Make sure and include a list of all the websites you're selling in addition to any domains that come along with the sale. Is there anything that adds value to the sale? Provide them with any additional information upon request. Before giving a buyer any information, have them sign a non-disclosure agreement. If you use a broker, the NDA will be provided for you. Good brokers like Adult Site Broker, have a large resource of potential buyers that are looking for properties just like yours, and they know how to deal with potential buyers. They'll also negotiate the terms of the sale, such as price and any payment terms. Before closing the sale, find a good escrow service to make sure that both the buyer and the seller are protected. We have those resources, of course. Let's talk about some of the factors that influence the sale price of a website. Number 1 is always profit. It will be a multiple of the profit, and that multiple is based on whether the profit is trending up or trending down and how fast it's trending up or down. I've seen valuations of as much as 5 times, although that's very rare. Normally, it's in the 2.5 to 4 times area. I've also seen valuations of 1 time if the profit is taking a nosedive. We'll talk about this subject more next week. And next week, we'll be speaking with Fabio Lavana of One Stop VAT. And that's it for this week's Adult Side Broker Talk. I'd once again like to thank my guest, MsSexySaigon. Talk to you again next week on Adult Side Broker Talk. I'm Bruce Friedman.